What's good, Council of Comics? It's Monday night. It's the New Keys and Hot Comics, episode 71. We're here with IZZYVERSE NYC. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
What's good, Council of Comics? Yes, I'm just going to repeat everything that Phil just said. It's the New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week, episode number 71. And special guest tonight is the IZZYVERSE. Let's go!
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone a superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What is good, Council of Comics? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week, where we go over all the new keys, all the hot comics that come out this specifically on this week, starting today, January 8th, but coming out on Wednesday, January 10th. As always, I have the loyal council with me, Phil, green shirt guy, and Cliff. No, wait a minute. It's not Cliff. It's IZZYVERSE. Welcome,
Yeah,
IZZYVERSE.
Well, thanks for having me. Cliff was like, "Yo, Izzy, you gotta do this for me," and I'm like, "Okay, when's it for?" It's like 8 o'clock on Monday. I was like, "I just finished my show." I don't know if
Don't worry. Cliff loves doing those kind of things.
So it's so funny because I was with DJ Lynx just now, and we're doing the show, and I'm literally like rushing through my list now, So I was like, "Oh, the time's coming. I gotta have my dinner." But I got my dinner right here. Look at it. It's my little spider bow.
I give you guys all the props, you, Cliff, everybody, for doing all these live shows. I wish I could do them like that, but I just don't got the time, man.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time.
My family don't even know what I look like anymore, man. And I said, just watch the stream. Just watch the stream.
I'm right there.
Like, hey, that's your dad. That's your dad right there.
Izzy, thank you for joining us tonight.
No problem, man.
Really
I'm gonna eat
appreciate
my dinner if you
do
guys
what
don't
you
mind.
gotta do. You can do that. Green shirt guy's always eating something.
I'm
so
always
it
because I'm
it doesn't matter. All right. As I get started here, like we always do, I got some couple announcements like we always do. Hold on. All right. First up, Young at Heart Foundation. This is an organization run by my good friend, or our good friend Mike, out of California. They do great things for the kids out there that are awaiting medical procedures. They do things like hope kits and get guests to come and visit them. If you over here. If you want to help out, you can become a donor by going to youngatheartfoundation.com, clicking this nice little button right here that says register to become a donor, or you can sponsor a Hope Kit that's 100% tax deductible. They take the funds and they make little boxes and gifts to give to the kids that are waiting. Now, if you want to get in touch with Mike, you can give him a call at 323-396-9998 or email him at info@youngatheartfoundation.com. Next up, Alterniverse. This is our home away from home. This is where we buy all our comic books and talk and do all our videos, and I just click notifications away and away on the TV screen. But anyway, we do all our filming here. It's owned by our great friend Anthony, one of the best comic shop owners out there in the game. They sell comics, toys, cards. They have the Hudson Valley's best selection of comic books. They also bag and board every single comic book that comes into that shop gets bagged and boarded. Every single one at no extra cost to the customer, and that's a great thing for Anthony. If you want to start a pull list for Alterniverse, you can get 10% off. You can reach Anthony by giving him a call at 845-233-4234 or emailing him at alterniverse2@aol.com, and the website is alterniverse.net. It's located in Hyde Park, New York, at 870 Violet Avenue. Give a shout out to Anthony. Of course, this is our channel, the Council of Comics. We're at 732. We want you guys, I haven't asked you guys yet because I don't know why I haven't asked you, but please subscribe. If you're coming over and this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. It'll help us out a lot. We got tons of videos on the channel, from lives to comic book pickups to New Comic Book Day, which is our weekly variety show where we do skits to show all our new comics, have tons of conversations. We also have things like Council in California and other series. Phil, if you go back, Phil has his Laserdisc series over there, which is really, really great that you can check out. Council FTR with Josh, who goes over old school books. The last episode was with Green Shirt Guy, and then went over Detective Comics 38, which featured the first appearance of Robin. That's real good. We got the next one coming up. We have to film it yet, but it is Phil, correct? And you're doing Hellboy with Josh?
Hellboy with Josh, issue number 1. Yep.
Excellent. That's going to be real fun. So please like and subscribe. The next channel is IZZYVERSENYC. Congratulations, Izzy, on reaching over your 2,000 mark.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. It's a goal that we hope to be at one day. IZZYVERSE is a place for geek culture enthusiasts. Talks about, well, Izzy, tell us about your channel.
So for those of you who have not seen my channel, IZZYVERSE is a channel that really focuses on comic books. Every so often we throw in some wrestling stuff. So, you know, whenever I go to a wrestling show, you'll get some footage from the wrestling show there. We'll talk mostly about comic books in the channel. But I go to different conventions. I got one coming up very soon. Garden State Winterfest is happening in about 2 weeks. So I'll be up there. Go pick up books. So you do unboxing, some mail calls, you name it, it's all there. And of course, the best part of it, which a lot of people like, there's giveaways in practically every episode of the pull list. So if you watch it on Mondays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right before you guys, which I had DJ lead. Yeah, I'm a lead in for a couple of guys. You know what I'm saying? So go check it out.
It's paying off. You got
but it's fun. A lot of good stuff. I have a lot of blasts. Join the RATPACK to be a channel member. It starts as low as 99 cents. So
really,
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm giving away for this month. I'm gonna give away a Wolverine book. Look at it, you can't even see it. It's so good. I'm gonna be giving a slab. This is not, from what I know, this slab was not tampered with. But then again, this is the RATPACK, so I can't promise you anything. So that's this month's giveaway. You know, you watch a video, leave a comment. Hashtag Izzy's RATPACK, and you'll get a chance to be entered into the monthly giveaway. So that's going to be fun.
Excellent. Go subscribe to IZZYVERSENYC, people. And speaking of giveaways, all right, we have our giveaways that we do every week. Well, we give ducks away every week, and we give away prizes at the end of the month.
Quack, quack.
What we do is I'm going to put a hashtag up, and you guys have to put the hashtag in the comments. And then after we talk for a little bit, we'll do one drawing and we'll get a duck. And then at the end of the show, we'll do another drawing, get another duck. You can win 2 ducks today. We don't do that. If you win one, you don't win. You can win as many ducks. And at the end of the month, we'll have a duck race to see who's going to win the prizes. Now, I'm going to make my screen bigger so I can show what we got here. So,
I was looking at that book there.
Yeah, 1602, number 1.
That was fun. I have those.
Near mint condition. You know, they also had a what if episode of this, which is pretty cool. This is one book that'll go in there. Next book is Star Wars Chrysanthemum. Number 1 is a collection of the Black Chrysanthemum stories from the Star Wars books. Really cool. The next one is Daredevil 1 in 25, issue number 1, I believe, of the last volume before this volume. This is a 1 in 25 right there that's going in there. And Phil just added to the pile, and he's throwing in the Conan foil.
Ooh, shiny.
Into the pile.
That's a nice book.
Very, very nice. Right? Right?
Those swords are great.
And also, Green Shirt Guy.
Yeah, you get a sketch.
You get a sketch from Green Shirt Guy. You get a nice little sketch from Green Shirt Guy. Now, I just got Colton, who won the last one. Who was it, Colton? I forget what. See, no, I'm not going to get it wrong. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to get it right. Cody. Sorry, Cody. My bad. Cody F. Fonseca. He won the last one. He just got his box. from the last one. He did.
Oh,
he did it.
he's the one that followed me over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
okay.
gonna do an unboxing. He made the video already, and it's gonna come out soon. He's gonna show what we sent him. But we have to do hashtags. So let me get it up here. The hashtag will be present screen, stop screen, present, share screen, window.
A lot of steps there.
Tell me about it, bro. Hold on. I gotta share again. All right, we're gonna share again, and then I'm just gonna do this.
Hey, what do you know?
It's hashtag Izzy. Your first
Izzy.
hashtag is hashtag Izzy. Get your hashtag Izzy's in the comments. And then in a few minutes we'll do a drawing. Hashtag Izzy to be entered into the first one. All right. So let me do this, and then I'm gonna put this up here like this, and then I'm gonna go to these comments because there's people in the house.
We've got some people out
Las-
there.
Yeah, Las Cruces 1971 is in the house.
Las Cruces. Was he the
Thank you
first?
from New Mexico. Yeah, he's always the first.
He's always the first, man.
Well, look who's tuning in out there from New Paltz. It's Cliff on comics.
Yeah,
He's
he
out
doesn't
there
start
in
till
New Paltz.
8:35. That's why.
Yeah, you know, it's Cliff, but we all love Cliff. It's okay. Chaos and Comics is here. It's a good friend of Izzy right there.
Yeah, Chaos. What's up, Chaos? I'm gonna give you some Chaos.
Larry Jackson is in the house. What's good, Larry? Jeremy Carl 1 is in the house. Thank you for joining us. Jay Margolis is in the house. Thank you for joining us. Kenneth Bird is in the house. Thank you for
What's up,
joining us.
Kenneth?
Comics by the Bag, slapping my foot long in here for a second. What's good? How are you? Dagger
What's up,
Cards is in the house. How you doing? Eric Martinez, loyal council guy watching. Thank you for joining us.
Past winner.
Past
there you
winner.
go.
And he's a past winner. All right. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about, let's just get into talking. There's been some things that happen in the collective community.
Some chicanery.
And some chicanery. And it's a CGC scandal. Let me get that banner out of Izzy's face. It's a CGC scandal.
This is the first time I hear about this.
Yeah. Stop playing. Well, the joke is we're the last ones to talk about it. But
We hinted at it last night, so I have this is kind of like news to me now.
We wait to be the most informed.
Yo, those
about
have
this
got
whole
to be
thing.
the most secured slabs ever.
that they're
Like,
showing right there.
You
Like,
cannot open those slabs, man. Those are the toughest slabs in the world.
Here's the thing. You know why this
Hold on,
just get into the case that
Let
they're in.
me
It should be
set the
hard.
tone. Let me set the tone for everybody who doesn't, you don't know, but let me set the tone. CGC, it's just been found out that there's about 100 books from CGC that got reholdered in a scam. People sent in some books. They got
they're
came
admitting to,
back
not-
and that they're
Yeah.
admitting to.
There's 300 in question.
300 in question. CGC has said that they've retained a leading private investigative service to get down to the bottom of it. So
They
now
gotta elongate it, man.
I mean,
it's
come on. What are they
it's
following somebody?
it's
from
a
their
sense of
mailbox?
okay.
You're looking
I-
online for a guy. He's like, you guy? Yeah, I'm a guy.
Should we get our books graded?
Here's my thing. This is only a story and only a scandal, if you will, because it's CGC. If this was CBCS or what's the other one, Pix or whatever, we're not even talking about it.
PGX.
PGX. This I don't even think this makes a blip on the radar because nobody trusts PGX at all.
Do you think
because
this is a good
CGC 's
moment
kind of the
for them?
standard,
No, go ahead.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
said, but because CGC is kind of the standard, if there's anything that looks murky, it calls into question their entire practice because they're the standard.
Do you think this is a good time for PGX and CBCS to come
I
out
would
with a new
say-
slab?
Well, it's a
That-
good time for CBCS. PGX, I don't think they're, third wheel. Come on, man. They're the TNA
if
of
that.
comics, right? Like if CGC is WWE, then CBCS is AEW,
Right.
right?
And PGX is the local town show.
Yeah, I was gonna go as far as saying TNA, man. I was gonna give them some love.
All right.
They're MLW, okay? GCW or one of those guys, right? So here's the way I look at it. The way I look at it is that someone has been able to showcase. That's where the first problem is. They were able to showcase how you could do it, right? So that put CGC on blast. Now, one of the things CGC has been doing well is that they've been taking some kind of accountability towards it. I say some kind because all the stuff they've done prior is not about accountability. It's about making money, right?
Right.
So now they have to show that they're involved, that we hired a private investigator. To what? To look at your slabs to see if they could be unslabbed? How do you hire? What are you going to do? Watch every eBay account and see if something, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to kind of really determine exactly what is it that they're doing. So the 300 in question are really based off of sellers that already probably been caught in the scam, right? That's what my assumption is. That doesn't take into account people that probably sold things through conventions, right? Because there's no numbers to look up, right? So you have no transactions that are recorded. That's why cash is king in conventions, right? So the truth of the matter here is, what does that mean for you if you have that book? Well, you send it off to CGC. They'll look at it. They'll regrade it. I heard they'll compensate to a certain extent, and that's that. And they move forward. Now, what they do have to do, if they have to put a plan in place to get a better holder, which has always been a common complaint anyway.
Yeah.
So
their holders about 10 years ago weren't that bad.
Their holders now crack a lot faster.
I think it's because there's been an explosion in the market. So they're trying to cut corners somewhere, and that's probably where they did.
Well, it's probably the adhesive that they're using, right? Because it has.
Well, and you're doing 4 times as many books as you used to, too.
Yeah,
I don't see why they don't go to a style of because I know they have this technology where it's a screw, and it screws in, and if you try to unscrew it a certain way, the piece inside cracks. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you can tell if it's been tampered with,
because they use
or
that
not.
at the whatever the Olympics were in Sochi, Russia. Remember those Olympics? They used that technology for the urine samples, and you can tamper with it,
Really?
as has been proven since. That's why the Russian athletes many weren't allowed to compete in the last Olympics, because they got caught.
Well, here's the other issue. You have to be able to the slab needs to be able to be cracked. And I'll tell you why. Because people want to get their book signed, so they eventually want to crack them out, right? So the fact that they're going to be opened up eventually, some of them will. You have to do it in a way that you cannot put it back, right? So if you ever tampered with electronic devices, which I've done in my day, if you open up an electronic device, a lot of times there's a little holographic sticker inside of it. And once that sticker is pulled off or teared, it actually causes it splits and it'll say void.
It'll void like the
warranty.
I've done it. The PlayStation 2.
Phil know.
Like
Phil
that.
know.
PlayStation 2 was like that.
Right?
If you had to crack it open,
right. So if you did something like that, where and you know what, it could be visible as long as it's not distracting to the eye, I guess, right? If you did something like that, where when you crack it, that void will come into place, then that should solve the issue, right? You send it to the reholder, they'll look at the book, see if there's any damage, and then they'll regrade it, right? Because that's what ended up happening. What these guys were doing was that they were sending them out, they were taking the books out, putting new books in, and then they were also putting reholder. Right, so they were sending them out to CGC. CGC was then at that same time reslabbing them with the new information. and that's how
Aren't
we
they
ended up
supposed
getting
to Aren't they supposed to grade them again after they
so they only grade them if it's cracked a certain way. So let's just say you have a book and it has a scratch on the glass, on the acrylic. If you have a scratch on the acrylic, but you want to replace the holder, you send out, you give them $20. All they're gonna do is just open it up, put it in a new slab, and leave it as that. Right? Now, if it's broken in a way that the comic book is vulnerable, then they have to regrade it.
If you take to a show and crack it to get it re-signed, they make you sign a waiver saying it may not be the grade that you had when you opened it.
Yeah. So and you could send them with the certificate because that's what they want, right? They actually want that they want that label back. So if you send it to them without the label, to them it's a new book. Right?
So all right. So tell me, I'm a new guy, right? Like I'm a new guy like this after. Like I don't know if I should send my books in now. Should I send my books in? Should I not send my books in now? Should I wait until they get a new holder? Should I just move forward?
Depends on what
with
you want the book for.
There's that.
It depends on what you want the book for. If you want to, if you're sending them out to be resold, you might want to wait. Right? I send books out today. Today, I sent some books out. Right? These are my PC books. These books have no intentions of being sold. The books I send out today. Right? Because they're books that are my personal collection that I absolutely needed to get slabbed. Right? I'm not saying what they are because I'm going to do a video on them. When you see what they are, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know why you got them slabbed. Right? So I have no intentions of selling them. I have no intention of doing anything with them. So if they slab them, it's for me. It's not for me to resell. So I don't.
What about giveaways?
Not them.
Is giveaways? Can you send out stuff for giveaways, get it back, and give it away?
It's up to you.
What I would say, this might be the perfect time though, because they know there's a problem, so they're going to do everything they can to say, hey, we're verifying this.
Yeah, that's so I don't know. Like that's a good point. So if you were looking to sell, like sending out something to sell, would now be a good time to do it? Do you think?
No.
And yeah, all right. And I guess the other question is like, what are like? Because all right, so far it's like 300 books. What are these 300 books in question? Because I can't imagine like.
I know like over 100 of them are ASM 300s.
There's a lot of
Okay.
they're key books. A lot of them are key books.
I was gonna say these are like so it's a lot of.
These are upper echelon books. You got like an Amazing Spider-Man #1. You got a Amazing Fantasy #1. You have
okay.
Incredible
I was gonna
Hulk
say nobody's doing this
21.
with like the new Batman book or something.
No.
They're going for.
There was a newer book in there, but it was like literally one book out of a list of 300. That was like a modern book. So most of the books are top tier blue chip books.
Okay.
Right? You had some Ultimate Fallouts. You have like I said, Incredible Hulk 181 is in there. Amazing Spider-Man 300's in there. So there are books in that list that most people want top dollar for.
Yeah. So these are your top dollar. That's the other thing. Like, all right, suppose you're in the market. Like, all right, we want to get Ultimate Fallout. We want Miles Morales' first. Would now be a good time to get it?
If you're willing to,
I'd say yes.
review it.
I think prices are dropping on books.
Now,
okay.
I'll be honest. Miles Morales is one of those. I think the real question here, and this is something that I always question for myself personally. Do you prefer buying books graded, or would you prefer raw and running the risk that it's a high tier book? When I go to conventions, I like buying my books raw. One, because I'm getting them a lot less than with a grade. And at the same time, if I'm going to get it grade, I'm going to get it pressed. I'm going to get it, clean and all that stuff. And then if I feel like the book is a top tier book, then you know what? If I get a 9.6, let's just say, I'm satisfied with that. I don't think, you buy the book, not the number.
Yeah, I only buy graded books at conventions if the deal is humongous.
I also like
if
prefer
it's
my
not
books
a
raw. Like
yeah, like I prefer more raw. Like I'll buy a slab if it's like, oh my god, that's probably one of the best deals I've ever heard of in my life, and then I'll purchase it. You know what I mean? After inspecting it, but I'm a raw guy because, like you said, I want to take it home, look at it. You know, I do my own cleaning and pressing, so I want to make sure everything is right with it. And this thing now with what's going on, it's like I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I can't buy any more slabs, but it's like it really does put a question like, am I gonna pay $250 for this slab? Like that could possibly not be what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now look at we mentioned Ultimate Fallout. I'll use that as a good example again. A high grade Ultimate Fallout could cost you high grade raw will cost you anywhere between $350 to $400 right now.
Cool, I'd buy that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A slab is $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Run the risk.
I would definitely get the raw, and then I'd
Yeah.
probably open it and read it. Because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna want to open
Yeah.
it and read it first.
Run the risk.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time anyway, though. I mean, do you trust the person you're buying it from?
That's another thing. Like people
Go to
buying these
somebody
stuff
My
on
wallet.
eBay.
Trust.
Oh my god, buying these slabs on eBay and stuff. And I buy books on eBay. I buy raws on eBay every now and then.
I'll buy books on
But,
eBay.
like, But buying these big books that are like $1,500 or
Mhm.
$2,000 from eBay, I'm like, wow, you have a lot of trust.
That's my
You have a
point.
lot of
Yeah.
trust.
I prefer getting it in the shop because one is going to be cheaper anyway. Right? If I go to a convention, it's going to be cheaper anyway because I'm not paying the taxes. If I'm paying with cash, I'm not going to pay the taxes for it. Right? They're going to give. I'm not going to pay the shipping cost. I'm not going to pay for any of these added elements that are put into play. If I buy from eBay, I need to trust the seller if I'm buying a book that's a high dollar value. Because if I'm buying just a regular book, like a $15, $20, $30 book,
Yeah,
that's nothing to me, right?
yeah, it's nothing.
I'll do that. I'll do that all the time, right? But if I'm buying a book that's going to be $1,000 plus, heck,
Jeez.
I'd rather go to Short Box where I have a better guarantee of what that book is, right? Rather than go through eBay because eBay is literally anybody, and you're at their discretion too because they're going to put the price that they feel the book is worth. And some of these guys, let's just say they don't know they don't have their price index in front of them.
All eBay. When you go to eBay, everything's overpriced.
Sometimes.
But they have to do it in a sense because eBay takes so much out on the
Correct.
feed. You know what I mean?
That's what I was
But
going to say.
That's why I measure it like, okay, you're charging me shipping, like blah blah blah. For me to buy a book, the shipping and the total price has to come out to what the book is valued. I think. You know what I mean?
And
But-
chances are you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But, then
Eric,
but if as a seller, I don't usually sell comic books. You have to overprice it because eBay takes a chunk. If you're going through PayPal, they take a chunk. So before you even see any money, you take whatever you say you're selling it for $30. You're probably only going to see 20 of it. So it's already going to be inflated. So
I also look at it like, say I bought a book for $5, right? I bought it. It's $5. Next week, it's optioned. Now it's a $200 book, right? I'm not that guy to go sell it for $215 now. I only paid $5 for it. Let me be the guy that's like $100. Let me get my $95 off this book real quick. You know what I mean?
Investment, no matter.
Yeah.
But it's also a way of being competitive, isn't it? So it's like everybody else is selling it for $200. I'm more certain that I could get this sold for $150 since everybody's selling it, right? Yeah, but that's being wise. But again, you purchase it at $5, right? So you're getting that return on investment. If in fact that's what your plan is, if you are just a guy like some regular guy who buys his comics every Wednesday, and it turns out that you're a little short on cash and you want to make a couple of bucks, you'll sell some of your books in your collection. You go to eBay, you throw in a number that you think is fair. You don't always get what you paid for, unless you bought the comic book when it first came out. It had the cover price.
Indeed. Eric says, I don't even want to buy a graded book now. There's not just one seller doing this. Very clear. Canadian Survivor says, "What up, Canadian Survivors? By the way, how many unboxings do you see where the 9.8 is nowhere near?" Yeah, I went to a shop. I'm not even gonna say the name of it, but it was like an hour or so away, and they had a Wolverine #1 9.8 in there, and I looked at it, and both of the staples were rusted, and I was like, "How is this a 9.8 if both of those staples are rusted?" Now, granted, it could have been one before and then became rusted for whatever reason, but you're still selling it at the high end mark, and
Well, the slab is only as the slab is only as good as the moment it was slabbed.
yeah,
It really is. So the moment and even that the grades that we have on these books are subjective.
Mhm.
They're based off of a person that examining. If they're having a good day, they may give you 9.8s across the borders. I've seen that.
Well, they have multiple people do it, and they take
No,
the average. But yeah,
I'm saying it's like if they're having a bad day, oh, it's a 9.4. And you know what? I've received books from CGC that they messed up.
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
You know what? You know how much accountability they take for that? Zero. You know how
Yeah.
I know this stuff? Because I remember. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you a little story. About a year and a half ago, I go into my comic book box. Right, I'm just combing through my boxes, and I notice I have a whole bunch of Marvel previews. Right, the Marvel previews. Everybody gets those books. The throwaway books. Right. I always keep them, and as an artist, I like having them there so I could have like some kind of reference because it was before the days of internet for me. Right. So I will keep my Marvel previews. Now they're never bagged, they're never boarded. I treat them like trash. Some of them are even written on. I go into my box and I see like one of the first comics I pull up was Marvel's Previews 95. If anybody knows what Marvel Preview 95 is, if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It is the first cover appearance of Miles Morales.
yeah, you're right.
Right? So it's that famous Ultimate Spider-Man #1 cover. It's the first time we actually see him. Right? So it's a preview. So I go ahead and I look at the price of this book, and lo and behold, the book has a high dollar amount because it's his first cover, right? So I go and I take it to some guy. I actually take it to a shop, and I say, you know what? I think it's time to grade this book. Right? I have this book. I got it for free. Got it for free. So the return on investment for me would be $0, with the exception of the cost in CGC. Right now, at that time, I didn't have an account, so I had to pay the extra fees and all that garbage that comes along with that. And I go ahead and I look at it. We examine the book between me and the dealer, and as we look at the book, we're like, this is a solid 8, maybe 8.5, right? So I'm like, you know what? That's cool. It's previews. What do I care, right? I get it. We send it out to CGC. About a few months later, I get the book back, and it came up as a 7.
Mhm.
We immediately thought it was an 8.5, but it came back as a 7. Now, again, it's our eyes versus the person's eyes. But then when I look at the book, the reason why it came up as a 7 is because at the lower end, towards the staple area, there's like this indentation, almost like a thread. It looks like a thread, right, on the book. Right? It's like a little squiggly thread in the bottom of the book. And I'm like, and that's the reason it got the hit. It got the hit because of the squiggly thread. But I never had the squiggly thread when I send it. In fact, I have a photo without the squiggly thread that it said. So clearly, someone over there
Yeah,
did something.
that's
get-
one of my biggest fears right there, man.
Someone over
Send-
there, and they never took accountability of it. So what ends up happening is you have these guys, and again, they're human beings like any one of us, right? We don't get to see what they do. They never post what they do. They never show. They say this is, we have 6 points or whatever they say of how we grade. Show me how you grade. Show me your environment. Show me what you do. Why till this day we still have not seen what they've done? and this is the first time that they're being put on blast for allowing something like this to transpire, right? So the real question is, what are their practices for us to be assured that what we're getting is what it's worth? And that's the issue. Now,
yeah. I
you
think
get
some disclosure it's probably due right about now on that, especially with like a scandal like this.
Show me what your practice is. Show me one video of your practice and how you do it.
Yep.
I would say too.
Hashtag Izzy in the comments, guys. We're gonna do a drawing real quick. Go ahead, Green Sugar.
I was gonna say I would say this too, and I have no basis for this other than just seeing it. Depending on the book, the amount of them that are out there being graded can affect the grade too. There's books where everybody and their grandma wants to have this book graded, and suddenly they're real stringent about what it is. And there's other ones where there's like 6 of them in the census, and they're all 9/8 because nobody has it. I have books like that where I'm like, I can show you.
It shouldn't happen that way.
This one doesn't, and this one's a 9/8.
It shouldn't happen that way, though.
It shouldn't. I agree, but
like every book has to be judged accordingly.
Agreed.
But great conversation on the CGCs, guys. John with Comics is in the house. Listen, John with Comics, you need to put hashtag IZZYVERSE in there. Put hashtag IZZYVERSE so we can get you into the drawing. In about 30 seconds. 30 seconds, we're gonna do this drawing for us. Phil Alien's in the house.
Eric Martinez got the good comment.
wait,
I also have a 9/8
I think I like my comments.
that I can never crack because if they take it back out, it automatically will drop in grade because when they sealed it, they screwed up. So like where the staples are, it's smushed over, so the staples are like almost sticking out and bent in the book now. I can never take it back out. I have to leave it as is.
Yeah, I have a book that's standing up there, right? I'm looking at it right now. It's my prized possession, right? It's Fantastic Four 67. It's the first appearance of Adam Warlock. It's also signed by Stan Lee, right? It is a 6.0, and it has a crack in the bottom corner. Now the crack is, it's not, if I send it, which I have to sooner or later. If I send it out, it should be just fine. It should remain a 6. But what's to say they don't low grade it? Because the standards changed now. Because that was signed. So it's a Stan Lee signature from the first Comic-Con. So this book was slabbed 15, 16 years ago. They got different standards now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would not take that risk.
No, I'm going to take it because
Are you going to do it?
Oh, yeah, because it's still my book. I don't care about the grade.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying? And it's still Stan Lee's signature. That's not going to change that.
All right, we got 11 entries in here. I'm going to do a drawing. Hold on to your hats. Let's do the first drawing of the night. Let's go. Who's going to get that duck, baby? Who's going to get that duck, goose? Duck, goose. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Dagger Cards, you win the duck, my friend. Congratulations. Tune in for the end of the show, and you could possibly win another duck dagger to be entered at the end of the month. All right. Great conversations, guys. Now let's get into some keys. Keys.
I got it.
Oh, but wait, before we do the keys. Hold on a second. We need another hashtag. Izzy, you pick the hashtag this time.
Oh, that's easy. RATPACK.
RATPACK. All right.
The RATPACK. That's Izzy's RATPACK. Since you said Izzy.
I got slow internet.
That's the name of my channel, man.
And RATPACK?
The RATPACK.
It's all spelled right? The RATPACK.
You don't have to put the duh. You can get rid of the duh. Just put RATPACK. Just like the guys are putting up now.
Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin,
That's my
Sammy Davis Jr.
Gotcha.
My RATPACK. Yeah, you know it.
Joey Bishop.
Joey Bishop.
We'll do those movies someday for Sunday, right? The RATPACK movies.
Should at some point.
RATPACK. And if
All
Chaos
right,
and
so
Comics,
the new hashtag, Brian LCS is in the house. What up, Brian? Hi, Brian.
yeah, if Chaos and Comics wins, we get a rerun.
All right, so hashtag RATPACK, guys, so you can be for the end of the show. Let's get those in there. All right, now let's get into these keys of the week. First up, giant size Spider-Man #1, or original story featuring Venom, Dylan Brock versus Miles Morales. It's a reprint of Ultimate Spider-Man.
It has a reprint.
Huh? Oh,
It's a new story, original story featuring.
but it has a reprint inside of it.
Yeah, so there's a backup story of Ultimate 22.
All right, that'll cost you $7.
Yeah,
$7.
it is giant size.
It's giant
Brian
size.
right there.
I'm a Miles Morales fan, but I won't be picking this up.
Oh, is that like a magazine size too? Like,
No, it's not magazine.
No, I think it's regular. It's just thicker. Next up, Green Lantern #7. It's the origin of Sin Sun. Oh, is that the son of Sinister? Is that what Sinestro? Sin Sun?
Yeah.
Leading to the Sinister Sun series.
It's probably just the son of Thanos.
Oh my god.
First of all, you name your kid
Green
Sin Son.
Lantern.
It's a problem.
Okay, so one of these is gonna die. That's what they say, right? One will die.
Yeah, you take a while. Guess which one?
Kilowog.
I'm Kilowog is out of the picture,
The one in the
bro.
middle. I'll tell you that much.
Next up, Rise of the Powers of X #1. This will cost you $6.
I
5-issue
am
limited series that would tell part of the concluding story of the Krakoan Age that began in 2019 with Powers of X and House of X.
I'm picking this
What
up.
were you gonna say, Izzy?
I'm gonna get this.
I
one.
like-
I did like the.
Yeah, I'm getting this as well. I enjoyed Fall of the House of X #1.
Yeah, I got this
Um,
one. That was
Oh, you got the one in 25.
no, it's just the regular.
No.
Was that Soja?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I just hope I don't have to buy a billion books to get this story, but
You
I
know
can
what?
buy Rise.
When they did
No,
House,
it's 5-5 like they did last time.
when they did House of X, Powers of X, that was just those two books, back to back, right? If you keep it like that, I'm happy. If you give me 101 titles, tie-ins, you throw me off. That's where I don't like. I want to be able to just read it flat, and if I want to get the tie-ins issues, I don't want to feel that I have to get it. You get my point?
Yeah. The X-Men when I grew up, they were just uncanny New Mutants that became X-Force and X-Factor. And then they came out with the second X-Men series.
Yeah.
But you had Wolverine, but that was basically it. Like
Oh,
now there's
X-Factor.
like everybody's got a damn series.
It was
bro.
X Factor back then, right?
Now you got the
X-Factor,
red,
yeah.
X-Men Red. You got
Yeah.
X-Men Red, X-Men Blue.
Immortal X-Men,
Gold.
X-Men Red, X-Men. Oh my goodness.
I think that's the problem in Marvel in general, right? Marvel's big problem is that they're overindulging, which is actually pulling me away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you keep it simple, I
Yeah.
buy.
That's it. Plus at these prices, man. Come on.
Mhm.
$6.
Come on, man. I come from the era of $1.50,
Yeah,
75 to a dollar.
75 cents.
75 cent, right? And then when Wolverine 1 came out, because it was a little higher glass paper, it was 150 when it came out. Yeah.
So
So-
75, 150, 225, $3. That's my books.
Yeah. Next up, Star Wars #42. This cost you $5. It's the first appearance of a rogue Sith.
That's gonna be a book people are gonna be getting.
It is.
Anytime
It
there's
is.
a appearance in Star Wars, people go crazy for them.
Yeah. They really, really fell off on the last saga to me, the Dark Droid saga. That was a real disappointment for me. It was unnecessary. But I feel they had to tell stories, right? They have the license. They got to tell stories.
Isn't
They-
Rogue
they had to
Sith
do it.
kind of
Not
redundant?
the license, they own them.
Yeah. So they're just trying to fill in the gap between Empire and Return of the Jedi. And it's just like
How many years are between those two? that
2
have
years. 2 years.
So many stories in between
Yes.
those years.
That are never mentioned in Return of the Jedi. So yeah, this will be a key book. So get that. Ultimate Spider-Man #1. This will cost you $6. It's the premiere issue. It's written by Jonathan Hickman.
Yo, there's a lot of good buzz behind this book.
Really? I mean, because it's mirroring like when the last Ultimate Spider-Man 1 came out. Like there was a huge buzz around that. And I'm like, are we having a resurgence of the Ultimate Universe again?
So this is different from that universe. This is not a new Spider-Man. This is pretty much Peter B. Parker. So he's now married to Mary Jane again, and they have 2 children. So it's pretty much how is he handling his life as Spider-Man and being a parent.
But is this in that Ultimate Universe where we just saw happen?
This is the new Ultimate Universe. This is not the old Ultimate. This is
no. Because in the new one that came out, there was no Spider. Yeah, there was no Spider-Man. What's his face stopped that from happening. So how did this happen?
Well, that's the question of the day, and we'll see. We'll find out. Like there are people that already read it, and people are loving it.
Okay,
so I'm hearing a lot of good buzz.
It's Hickman. Hickman is excellent.
Hickman is awesome, but sometimes he gets a little too deep in his writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I get it. You're into science. You want to give me all these facts and figures. Just give me a story. I'm happy. You know what I mean?
If you think about X-Men with that whole Krakoa saga, that did get like a little bit deep and wild. Like,
I mean, just look at his run when New Avengers leading into Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's good. I'm not saying he's
good.
He's another one.
Wolverine 41 begins the Sabretooth War solicitation, the most violent Wolverine story ever told.
I mean, come on. No, it's not.
Well, not yet, because we haven't seen it yet. But
I'm gonna get it just because I get Wolverine every month.
Anytime you put Wolverine and Sabretooth together, it's a banger. You know what I'm saying? Those two together, all they're doing is fighting. I love it.
And Sabretooth has had a nice little couple years going by. They gave him his own book, and they threw him in Krakoa hell, and he broke out.
Sabretooth and the Exiles. Yeah, that was really good. That's right. We really haven't seen Sabretooth.
So they were like, no, dude, this guy's too bad. No, we made a promise that we're not going to kill anybody, but that doesn't mean we're not going to imprison you either. So.
But he broke out of that too. You know what I mean? And
that's what
you kind of felt for him, like you were rooting for him to break out of Krakoa hell, and he did it.
I love Sabretooth, man. Sabretooth's awesome.
Well, that's the keys. Not too many keys this week. Okay. These are key collector keys. Yeah. You guys in the comments, leave in the comments which ones you'll be getting, which ones you will not be getting. Chaos Comics just, he drinks your X-Men tears. You know what I mean? He's, and I don't know if he's speaking to me specifically, but he's like, you also come from the era of $2.50 minimum wage. No, sir, because it's been $7 for 20 years.
Yeah,
minimum wage.
I'm not gonna lie, I do come from that era. I'm a lot older than most people think.
Would you say your age, or would you not?
Would I say? Yeah, I'm 46.
Oh, well, my birthday's next week. Izzy and I will be 46 as well.
Well, welcome to the 46 crowd.
Oh, jeez, thank you. I was enjoying the 45.
I know what minimum wage was when I started.
What was it?
$4.25.
Toys R Us was $5 an hour back in the day.
I didn't start working till I was 18 or something like that. So
I was 15. I worked at a hardware store.
I was 16 and I worked 2 weeks at McDonald's until I quit. And she said, "No, you must give us 2 weeks notice." I said, "Oh no, I've got another job. I will see you later."
No, I don't, because I'm not going to use you as a reference, so I don't care.
Exactly.
McDonald's wants to use a 2-week notice.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. But
my first job was hilarious. So my first job, I was working with my dad, right? So my dad was he was a delivery guy for bakeries. So he would take the flour and all that stuff, the sugars, to each of these bakeries. Now they would come in these huge sacks. The sacks were like 50 pounds or 100-pound sacks, and those suckers were heavy. We're talking about solid 100 pounds, right? So I ended up working with him for 1 week. 1 week, I kid you not. I was working with him for 1 week. Unfortunately, they had to let people go, so of course I got let go. But that was my very first job, and and I bought a comic book with that job. Right? I ended up making $125. That's what I made for that 1 week. 125 exactly. The comic book I bought was X-Men #1, X-Force #1.
Nice. All 5 covers or just one of the covers?
I ended up buying them all.
$20.
Still have
You
and I
can get all 5 for $20.
You get the Deadpool card?
I got multiple Deadpool cards.
Okay.
Nice. All right, Covrprice top 10. Let's run through these real quick. At number 10, we have Godzilla. Number 1. I don't have a Godzilla number 1. So
They're not that hard to come across. They're the book. You could probably find it in a con for like $60 right now.
Okay. Number 9, we have Daredevil issue number 9. It's the Echo first appearance. Speaking of which, Echo comes on tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow.
They
The
released
whole thing.
a little minute and a half of a fight scene, not with Daredevil, but with completely other people, and it was phenomenal. It brought me back to Netflix era, and I was like,
Always.
okay. I was like,
Always
this is
seen
what
it
I want
back,
to see.
baby.
Do we know how long the episodes are? Because there's only 5 of them.
I think 40 minutes, maybe.
It's not
I
bad.
think.
I mean, if they're half hour, kind of like, really?
Yeah, it's like a movie, basically. Dazzler number 8 with Dazzler number 1 is the first ongoing series. That's a great book to have right there. Number 7, we have Uncanny X-Men number 221. This is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. And rumors are still running higher now that Javier Bardem will possibly play a Mr. Sinister in live action.
But we're gonna see
Oh, friendo.
coming in. He's gonna be the villain in the cartoons.
Yeah, so they're building that one up. Number 6, we have Predator versus Wolverine number 4, the 1-in-25 Joshua Casada.
That's a cool cover.
And that is very cool. Number 5, we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Number 1, the cover A. This is blowing up right now.
Yeah,
it's about
$50
$50 book. Yeah, it's about a $50 book.
Was
right
it
now.
last week? There was like 3 different covers in the top 10.
So there's So this book is it's gaining a lot of traction, and what's interesting, it's gaining traction just off word of mouth. That's literally the only reason why this book is gaining traction.
Yeah.
It doesn't have an option. There's no sign that it's going to be an option. The story's still running because we're only 2 issues in. So I'm curious to
It's
see.
a low print run too.
It's a low print run, but there's multiple copies of issue number 1. So there's a second printing, and there was a Comic-Con version as well. So it's one of those books that if you find it for cheap, pick it up. But I would actually wait on it. You know what I mean? It's $50 now. It's $50 now because there's a lot of hype behind it. Unless there's an option call for it, which there is no sign of one right now, I'll actually wait on it.
Yeah, I agree. Number 4, Secret Wars number 8, first appearance of the symbiote suit. That's a classic perpetual key right there. That's a great book right there. Number 3, come on, man. Spawn number 1, one of the greatest books of all time.
I was gonna say 3 and 4 are always on this list. They always come
Always,
back.
man.
You
Spawn
Spawn
will
guys,
always be.
man. I don't get you, Spawn guys.
Spawn is cool. Spawn is cool. Because
Spawn is
it's not just the character, it's how the character came out. The whole revolution of the McFarlane and the artists leaving and creating your own thing.
It's more
You know
about
what I mean?
McFarlane than it is about actually Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Number 2,
It is
Taylor
Spawnuary.
Swift, Female Force. It is Spawnuary out there. Number 13, this is a Dazzler homage.
Another one?
Yeah. Limited to like 100 or something like that. Of
100?
these. Yeah.
Rich.
And then number 1, Kid Venom.
Okay, so
The
that
one
book
per
there,
store.
yeah, that was 1 per store. Talk about reprint. That is a full reprint, and that's a 1 per store variant.
Yeah.
That's why it's number 1, because it was a giveaway book. to each store. They didn't pay for it; they just got it. Also, because it's a one per store, some people did receive the book a bit damaged, and there's no way of fixing that. So it probably, I'm sure it has a low print run, but it's also has a low, high read as far as books goes. I'm curious to see when we're gonna get Kid Venom versus Spider Boy, because that seems like it's inevitable.
That's logical, right?
It seems inevitable.
I mean, yeah, that just puts us in multiversals again, and you know the multiverse thing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's your cover price top 10. Do any of you guys out there have any of these books? Leave in the comments.
I got a few of them.
Know. Jumping
I got
over
a
to
few of those.
I
CBSI.
always love the honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions: Journey into Mystery number 6.
It's a great.
Wow.
Classic Stan Lee horror sells
Bill
best offer
Everett.
4.5 for 5,750. Jeez.
Bill
That's
Everett.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is pre Spider-Man.
Yeah. Very, very nice. Transformers number 1 newsstand is an honorable mention. 9.8 for Transformers number 1 sold for 3,750. The direct gets about 1,500. I love this series. I'm on my hunt to get all of these Transformers early series along with the G.I. Joe. But that's a great book to have right there.
Yeah.
Very, very, especially the newsstand. Very, very, very nice. Number 10, Shazam number 7. This is the 1 in 25. It's hitting about $40 to $50. It's Nakayama.
Yo, he made her legs thick.
It's okay.
Sure did not. Nakayama.
Thick eyes save lives.
Number 9, we have Marvel Spotlight number 5.
Ghost Rider
This
goodness.
is the first appearance of the Ghost Rider.
Johnny Blaze.
6.5 went from 1,300 last week to 1,500 this week. That's a great book. And I was I'm editing the video for the song of our intro, the full song, and I have clips from like movies and stuff. And I was just looking through the Ghost Rider clips, and I'm like, that was so cool back then. I liked the first Ghost Rider movie.
I went to the premiere of Ghost Rider.
Really?
Yep, Nick Cage and what's her name again? Sophia.
Sophia.
They were there.
Bard something, yeah.
Yeah,
But they did a good job on that for what it was, man.
it's a fun movie. It's a fun
You
movie.
know what I mean? They did it
The
for what
second
it
one-
was.
The second one is dumb, but
It's a 90s movie.
yeah,
You know
the
what I
second
mean?
one's
So,
dumb though, but that one's good. I remember seeing. I
Yeah.
remember going and seeing it.
Yeah. Daredevil 9 is also on this list. 9.8s are around 200, going from 240 to 250.
Mhm.
Amazing Spider-Man number 50, first appearance of the Kingpin.
Yep.
Going for 7.5, went for 1,900.
Not bad.
That's a big book right there. Number 6, Beneath the Trees Nobody Sees. 9.8s have gone up to about $200, and we're saying, raw it's about 50 to 60.
Yeah. That's cool.
Fall of the House of X number 1, the 1 in 50 Virgin Art Germ is going for about $80 to $120.
Did not get this cover.
What?
Could have
Yeah.
had it, didn't get it.
Yeah,
All these books, man, just wait on them, man. These are books that you can
just
wait on.
Never get them out the gate unless you can get them cheap. The Predator versus Wolverine number 4, 1 in 25 is triple ratio almost, about $70 now for that. Beneath the Trees and Nobody Sees number 2 is selling for about $20 now, up from about $10. So there, I didn't even see number 2, let alone number 1.
Oh yeah, when number 2 came out, it was gone almost immediately.
Yeah. Godzilla
What is
number
that
1.
story about? Why is it so popular?
So the story with Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is, I don't know if you ever used to watch Busy Town or Richard Scarry, or
Richard Scarry.
you remember Richard Scarry in Busy Town, those little anamorphic character stories? Well, it's a story. It's set in a universe like that. So it's an anamorphic universe, and among them is a serial killer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the premise of the story.
Okay.
So in this image that you see here, the serial killer is that bear that's in the end. So that's the whole thing. It's like a kid's story, but it's a horror story. it's that's the idea, and that's why it's nuts. The story is nuts.
It's a Glickman green shirt
I
guy.
was gonna say
Well,
this is a Glickman.
I knew it was a Glickman.
Yeah, so there you go.
I buy
Godzilla's
Glickman
up
too,
there, and Kid Venom, #1, going for $20 to $25, up to about $40, one per store. All right. So next up, we're gonna go over all the new comics, but remember, it's hashtag RATPACK to be entered into the contest.
Do it.
Hashtag RATPACK. Let me see how many. 8 of you. All right. Get a couple more in there. Get a couple more in there. At the end of new comics. Oh,
Every time I look at
We
Phil,
will
man, I just
do-
feel like someone's gonna come out of the door.
Back there, that's my kitchen.
It's like someone's gonna come in and just go and strangle him or something like that.
Yeah.
Waiting for that day.
Nothing will ever happen to Phil. Phil is the greatest ever. He is the champion. All right, here we go. New comics. Action Comics number 1061. Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Wolverine #41.
Bizarro,
Miles Morales
baby.
Spider-Man #15. Miles Morales.
Oh, by
is
the way,
Spider-Man.
with
there.
Action Comics, Jason Aaron's writing it, so he's the new writer
Oh,
for Action Comics,
okay.
and he's
Oh,
writing,
really? From like the Punisher and stuff. That last
yeah,
one?
and he's writing Bizarro, so I'm actually looking
Interesting.
forward to that. Mhm.
very interesting. All right. Transformers #4. Green Lantern #7. Batman and Robin #5. The Avengers #9. Star Wars #42. King Spawn #29. Rise of the Powers of X #1. Blade #7. Teen Titans Beast World #4. The Sensational She-Hulk #4. Wesley
Going
Dodds the
dancing.
Sandman #4. The Sacrifices #6. Daredevil Gang War #2. Fish Flies #4. Spider-Gwen Smash #2. Captain
Featuring
Marvel
Dazzler.
#4. And a Nakayama right there too. Look at that. That's pretty nice.
You mean Fish
Giant
Flies,
Size
right, Phil?
Spider-Man #1.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's
read
pretty
the-
good. It's
I read
weird. Yeah.
The free comic book day one. It was pretty good.
Okay. Outsiders #3. Luke Cage Gang War #3. Look at that Liefeld. If that ain't a Liefeld cover, I don't know what is. Miguel O'Hara Spider-Man 2099 #2. Thunderbolts #2. Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 2 #8. Speed Force #3. Swan Songs #6. Fables #161. The Sentry #2. Teenage
Steven
Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures #9. That's what?
But it's not Stephen Young.
What did you say? Oh no. Kaya #14.
No, I
Crave
swear that was
#2.
Kurtman got him fired.
Brave.
Yeah, like that was. He's like, "What is Marvel gonna do to me? They're gonna fire me? No, they're gonna fire your friend." Smart guy.
If they fired him,
Blood.
he's
Something
saying that
happened,
my
that's all I
schedules
know.
didn't work anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Blood Commandment #3. Deep Cuts #4. Earth Divers #14. Petrol Head #3. Usagi Ojimbo Ice and Snow #4. It's a great series. The Madness #6. Antarctica #7. Per Evil #4. Adventure
Purr.
Man Ghost Lights #1. Masterpiece #2. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. The Scorpius Run #5. Bloodrick #2.
Is he developing
Zorro
a
Man of the
Mexican?
Dead. Who?
I'm turning British for a second.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that.
he does
I-
that.
I always change it up, man.
He tries it.
Firefly
Zorro.
the Fall Guys
That
#4.
Zorro book
X.
was a kick or GoFundMe that's now getting printed off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a GoFundMe.
Very
at one point.
interesting.
That's why it's in
Very
massive. 'Cause
interesting.
Massive
Yeah.
whatnot.
Okay. Exo Man of War Unconquered #5. Disney Villains Cruella de Vil #1. Quick Stops Volume 2 #2. Midlife or How to Hero at 50
It's a
#4.
decent book.
Yeah, I gotta
Rebel
pick that up.
Moon,
You know, I gotta pick that up
House
soon.
of the Blood Axe, #1. Oh, Rebel Moon. No, Rebel Moon.
I was gonna say
Good. I
no.
like that. I don't care what you say. I like that.
I'm gonna
tough.
I'm
It
gonna
was
watch
so
the second
tough to
movie.
get
I am
through.
gonna watch the second
Yeah,
movie.
I am as well, but it was kind of tough.
Then I'll really beat it to the dirt.
Star Signs #7, Looney Tunes #276, Dark Spaces, the Hollywood Special #5, Tear Us Apart #4, Subgenre #3, Guma, The Beginning of Her #2, Alice Cooper #4, Abbott 1979 #3, Jennifer Blood, Battle of Diary #2, The Assassin's Apprentice 2 #2, Lone #2, Haunted House, A Love Story #2, Acid Chimp versus Business Dog #1.
I mean, come on, what are we doing?
That's worth picking up just for the
That's a
title.
Glickman right there.
Right? That's a Glickman right there. Gretel, Dark Impulses #1, Distemper
Distemper.
#1,
Distemper.
Lore Olympus 260, Tox #4.
So good you don't get a cover.
Yeah.
World of Archie Jumbo Comics Digest #136, Tales of the Bizarre #3, White River Monster #3, A24, Zine #24, The Von Erichs, The
That's
Valley
pretty
of
interesting.
Death #2, The Accursed #2, The Beano #4218, Spread Love Comics #22, Shitty Stories #1, Steamboat Willie,
Yo,
and
they already did it.
Blogger #7.
Steamboat.
And
I
to
bet you
be clear
that
with all
comic
you
book
guys out there that think you can just do some Mickey Mouse stuff. No, you can only do Steamboat Willie stuff. Remember that.
That's an
Don't
18 plus.
Don't mention
Actually, you
Mickey
can't anymore
Mouse
because
in your new thing.
They own Steamboat Willie again.
I think the original. You can still do something off of the original
You
Steamboat
you
Willie.
you could do you could definitely do Steamboat Willie. You could do Mickey Mouse in that likeness. The only thing what you cannot do is you cannot do anything past the time frame. So when the gloves, you cannot do the glove. You can't even do the eyes. So he has Mickey Mouse has the old version of Mickey Mouse has Pac-Man eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's still not available. So I'm more
Interesting.
curious. I'm more curious when the comic book guys become free.
Superman
wait.
is in 2035. Superman.
Yeah,
is done.
Superman is really soon. His is coming.
And then it's like it's a year after year, like Superman, then Batman,
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So I'm
so-
curious to see what they're gonna do with Superman.
Well, Superman, you'll be able to do the Superman that can't fly.
He could jump.
He can only jump. Yes.
But
All
then,
right.
as time goes by, that all still
Go ahead,
opens
Phil.
up, right? Like eventually, we're gonna get to the the Pac-Man eyes and stuff.
Yeah. Very true. Hashtag RATPACK. We're gonna do our last duck draw for the night. Hashtag RATPACK. I'll give you about 15 seconds to get that in if you don't have it in yet.
Get it in.
Izzy, do you have anything
Pause.
coming up that you want to tell them about?
Well, we got, like I mentioned before, we got the January giveaway coming up. I'm going to be giving away this Wolverine Origin alongside other things. So if you watch my videos, make sure you leave that hashtag Izzy's RATPACK for your chance to get into the January giveaway. If you are a channel member, you will automatically be part of the January giveaway as a thank you. So you got a lot of things there. Monday Night Pull List. That happens every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern over at my channel, IZZYVERSENYC. And then I got a convention coming up. Other things on the pipe dream. I did send some books to CGC, and I'm sending some more. So personally, it don't matter to me because it's not, I'm not scamming anybody. So.
All right. So remember to go hit up IZZYVERSENYC on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to his channel. All right. Let's do this final duck draw for the night. Let's see who's getting ducked, baby. And 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see who's getting ducked, baby. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It is Larry
Jackson.
Jackson.
Larry Jackson.
Jackson was a previous winner as well. Congratulations, Larry. You got yourself a duck and you are entered into the end of the month contest with some great prizes that we will be adding on to for the next weeks to come. So that is our show for tonight. We want to thank Izzy for coming through and subbing in for Cliff, who's away. Izzy, it was a great show. We love talking to you about some CGCs and all that stuff. Remember, guys, tomorrow is Tuesday. We will be at the shop from 4:30 to about 7 o'clock, filming our brand new comic book day. If you're in the area, come on through, get a cameo, and they'll put you in the skit. Huh? Yeah, Hyde Park, New York, 870 Violet Avenue. You can Google it. You can Google it, and you will find that right there. All right, and remember, new comic book days on Wednesday, and remember, we go live every Sunday and every Monday. Sunday at 5 p.m. 2 Pacific, where we're going over the last chapter of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Return of the King. On Sunday, it's gonna be a bomb. Lady Fantastic, she's gonna be in the comments somewhere. She loves Lord of the Rings, and so does Green Shirt Guy. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And then Monday, we're back again for another new Keys and Hot Comics of the Week. So please remember to like and subscribe. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. For myself, for Phil, for Green Shirt Guy, and for Izzy, and for Cliff out there. We love you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes?